Hey, how's it going? Welcome to the Digitally Overwhelmed podcast. I'm Cynthia, your host, and I run Digital Bloom IQ, where I help health and wellness businesses get found in Google and heal more of the world. This is episode 193, and today we are doing another round of website audits. Last week I did 3, this week I'm doing 3, and my goal is to just keep doing these because I feel like there's so much we can learn from each website. So these 2 are back to back, and then I'm planning to do another one potentially in August. So if you want me to review and audit your website, you can get on my email list and then email me back. That is the fastest way. So to get on my email list, you can go to bit.ly/DBIQ email. And there you'll get on, and every week I send resources. You're the first to know about new podcast episodes. It's the only place where I announce them regularly. And I also just like to give the people on my list a little extra stuff. So I'm always, trying to do that. All right, so let's dive in. So today, like I mentioned, I have 3 different websites that we're going to cover. We're going to talk about, I'm going to give you guys my feedback, my thoughts, and we're going to just have a conversation. And yeah, this is fun. I love doing this. All right, so let's dive into the first website. All right, so the first website is Liz Santamaria. It looks like she does beaded work and jewelry. And as I started to look through the website, you also do classes, which is really interesting. So I love this immediate. I'm pretty sure your website's on Squarespace, but I could be wrong. This immediate, it's just so easy to understand what you do. We see the product right away, and we just immediately know, right, what this website is about. That's great. That's a recommendation I have for all my clients and all my audiences. Like, make it easy for people. Make it super, super easy to the point of like, it's just so obvious they couldn't really mistake it for anything else. And kind of like an added bonus is I also start to get a sense of the vibe of the brand. And I'm able to just feel, is this something, that I want to vibe with? Is this something I like? So that's amazing. And so as I scroll down, I start to see some products here. I love that. I think there was like a quick view here. So I was going to say that I don't know if Squarespace allows you to do this, but I would say on the rollover, if it's a little bit more obvious, because I almost missed it there. Like, it's sort of there, but I feel like the quick view is hidden. So, even changing the whole image so that like it says quick view, that would be amazing, because we want people to click, right? And they're going to click. The other thing I was going to say, and I didn't see this the first time, but I would think about adding more products here. Like, so you have 4, maybe adding 6 or maybe 8, because these images are quite large. And I mean, I love seeing the detail, but that's why we click through into the specific product page, right? So we can get more detail. So maybe having 1 large if you really want that, but I would actually have more smaller ones because we want to give people more options to get to know you and to get to know your product. And I love this model. I love that you show, is this you? This might be you. And maybe this is you. And I love it. I love, if you have a product, show people that you use it, show it. I think that's really smart. I'm pretty sure this is you. All right. And then I love this part. Beadwork is a meditative and spiritual practice for me. So one thing I was thinking of is that I feel like the fact that you have lessons, and also the fact you want to do SEO, it should be higher on the page. So, here, just adding maybe a line that says, or maybe 2 options here that says like every piece, or like learn from me or something. So shop now, or like learn how to bead or something like that. Just because it took me a while to find the classes, and not everybody's going to scroll down. So you have kind of two audiences here. You have like the direct product buyer, and then you've got someone who's like a crafter, or someone who needs a new hobby. We all need this, so it's important for, especially this. I've already talked about this. I talked about this in the last episode. Is like this above the fold area is like prime real estate. Let's use it in the best way possible. So if you can add like that other button, two buttons, it's okay, not too overwhelming, giving people two options. You also, I noticed you do have the workshops here. So someone might be like, oh, what's a workshop? But even adding like classes, um, something like that, like handcrafted beaded jewelry and class or artwork and classes. I don't know. You have to play around with the copy there, but you get what I'm saying. All right, so let's move on to the about page. So I love all this detail. I love this story. The about page is really important, because a lot of people, like humans, buy from other humans. So we want to get to know you. I love this picture of you and your puppy. Very, very cute. I would say adding more internal links. So here, adding like a call to action, like check out my favorite, or, just maybe even making this page longer, like my favorite top 5 favorite products. So you actually add more product links here. Adding a link to your workshops, adding internal links to your, if you, on your blog posts. Anything here is just great to get people to just giving them that next step. Most people will go back to the navigation, but if we can just invite them in, I love that you have this join me, maybe a little bit more specific, like some people like to name their newsletter something fun or quirky, just because I get that it's a newsletter because it says sign up, but it might be good to add like an additional little touch of like, this is what you get in the email. Sometimes you can even say, I've seen some people say like, this is weekly, it's monthly, because, frequency can change the experience of the email newsletter. So those are my thoughts on the about page. The other thing I was thinking about specifically for you is, I love all this on your blog. You talk about your creative process. I love it. One thing you can think about on your blog page is actually featuring your students. So for your workshops, because that's a way in terms of SEO that you'll attract more clients. So think about, could you feature a student, just reaching out to them and saying, hey, I'd love to have you on my blog and show you the work that you've learned like through the course. And it's kind of like a testimonial slash blog post slash case study. So that's my extra tip there. But great work, Liz. I love it. Keep going. We're going to move on to the next one. All right. So next up we have Baskin Being, Casey. So I think this is a really interesting example. So first off, I love the image. I feel like this already gives me a sense of what the brand is about. Just this idea of like collaboration and teamwork, which I love. I would say, again, using this above the fold content more actively. So, maybe if there's a way, I don't know what platform you're on, but if there's a way to have this text be on the image, because it can be seen, the image, but we're using that copy, and then having the copyright under that. So speaking right to the person, being really, really clear about what we are, who we are as a company, like what are the services we provide. We don't want to make people guess or like, try and figure out what we do. Having our title, our position, these are keywords too. So if we're like a team consultant or even if we're a startup, like team startup or team collaboration, whatever it is, just having it really right out in front and center is going to help people get to know us right away and just understand what our website is about. The other thing I invite you to do, Casey, is to really look at each of these sections and make sure that they each serve a really clear purpose. So in terms of team, when I clicked through here, okay, so this, now we've got people. Last time I checked, there weren't any faces here. So this is great. You know, having a little bio here, I get it. People want to get to know the team. That's amazing. Yeah, just really being clear of like, you know, each of these sections, because the navigation is really prime real estate. We want to use it wisely. And, you know, uh, maybe an about a section. So having like about and then having team under that is great. Potentially, maybe your ideal client prefers to see team, but yeah, we just want to be clear about each thing, because sometimes what I feel, and maybe this isn't the case with Casey, but people just kind of like choose site sections based off like what they see their competition doing or what they see just the industry doing, and they're not really asking like, what is this page for? Each page needs to have a really, really specific purpose, so that, you know, we're serving our audience, and we're helping them get to know us. We're helping them understand what we're about. And we just don't want to just like fall through the motions, because it's good to have that page because it just seems like a good idea. Going back to the home page, I would say there's a lot of space between this section. So maybe when you move this up, it will change, but there's a lot of space here. So I would go back and see if there's a way to restructure this, maybe make this image smaller, you know, adding a little bit more information here. Testimonials are great, but this is the homepage. So we want to give people as much information as possible right off the bat. And then the testimonials are kind of near the bottom. They're kind of like the cherry on top, just showing our work. So maybe, you know, moving this higher up is great. I love that. This is great. This is all amazing. And yeah, so here, like with the call to actions, book now is great, but I would have it be even more specific. So like book your discovery call, you know, just making it really easy for people to understand exactly what they're getting. That is amazing. All great stuff. Great, great work here. So I love this image. I feel like this really encapsulates your method of working. I love all this offerings. One thing I would say is, you know, adding internal links. So you have a resource section, so potentially that would be there. Oh, sorry. Having like internal links here. So for example, if someone wanted to learn more about leadership training, maybe you have a resource page or a blog post about your method around leadership training, just so that people can explore more with you without contacting you next. So we can give them all the information they need. This could also be a space to link to case studies. So if you have a case study around a team workshop or a leadership training, you know, could you link to that here? You know, and even putting like case study sort of thing. I sense your type of client wants to see like the numbers, the return on their investment for each of these offerings. And then this is great. I love that. You know, I feel like it takes a lot for people to get on a call today. It depends on who your audience is, but, and this is great. So curious about our offering, really be clear about what they're going to get from the discovery call. So, you know, maybe adding here below, like what you're going to walk away from, like an action plan on one thing, or like, I know it's a free discovery call, so there's something you're going to give them, but be like, show that, sell what they're going to get from just 15 minutes with you, which, you know, isn't a lot, but it can still be something they walk away kind of impressed by. So just be super hyper clear with that, because we want people to really, really understand that. So this is great. I love all of this, Casey. Great work. Yeah, great work. I know you're working hard to improve this, so good job. All right, so last website audit for this episode is Romina Reginald. Her website is actually originally in German, but thanks to Google Translate, I'm able to just go through everything and give you feedback. So right off the bat, I love this copy. I love this image of you. I feel like this is really clean and easy to understand, right? So my online psychology practice, right off the bat, I just know who you are, I know what you do, and I start to get a sense of your branding. I start to get a sense of your vibe and if we would be a good fit, right? I believe that you had an opt-in, a pop-up on this page. So I would definitely recommend what I recommended in last week's episode, which is checking that the pop-up is on exit intent. And so what that means is that the visitor is seeing the pop-up at the end of their visit. And so if it's the first visit, we're not just giving that to them right away. So that's something that I recommend. Um, the other thing I wanted to say here is that although you have here online psychology practice, I would include your official title and your location closer to the top as a heading, because a lot of people are searching specific professionals in their area. Even though you do online, I'm assuming you are licensed in Germany in your, whatever, maybe all of Germany, or maybe in that area of Germany. So we want to include those keywords. So it doesn't necessarily have to be here, but maybe it could be here, like psychologist in Germany, something like that. That is a keyword, right? So in general, people search um, psychologist or therapist in the location. It could be like online psychology, licensed in Germany, something like that. Don't worry so much about the order. Google will pick up on that. Google is smart. Keywords are important, but I don't want you to get obsessed by them. I really love that you've got two really clear offers here, and you're giving me two really clear steps, next step actions. This is amazing. Yeah, we just want to make it easy for people to take the next step. And I love all your colors. I think they give a really specific vibe of how it's like to work with you, which is great. And I also want to say, I do really like that you've got your press features here linked. Um, just thinking for a second, it might actually be good for you. Well, yeah, so there's two things here you could do. You can make these open up in a separate tab because people are just getting to know you. It's the homepage. We want them to stick around, right? So we're doing an external link. So if you want to keep the external link, I would say have it be a new tab. So you can set this link to create a new tab so people will stay on your site, but they'll also open where you've been featured. The other option is to make these static images and then have a link here that says like all my press features or all my press where I've been featured, that sort of thing. So that that's also another page on your website. And there you link to these specific features. So that's just like another way just to retain them and to have the focus be on your website, at least here on this page. All right, so let's move to the About Me page. So yeah, cosmopolitan psychotherapist and mother. Love it. Really good. So my only question here was, do your clients, or yeah, I guess I don't know how it is in Germany, but would someone want to see like any certification or where you've been certified? So, having a link to the association or the school or wherever you've been certified is amazing, just because, yeah, people might want to know that. I love this. Okay, so here we go. So, okay, I didn't open this part. So this is amazing. Okay, this is good. So you've got your postgraduate. Okay, this is great. So maybe what I want to say here is, this drop down putting like my professional certifications, because I didn't open that. I thought that drop down was I thought it was just more information about you, like your personal story, because it seemed really informal for everyone who wants to know more. I would put here, I mean, I don't know how Google is translating this, but I would put like certification, like my professional certifications. I actually wouldn't hide this. I would have this out because this is really important for Google and for humans. So my advice at the end of the day is don't have this in a drop down in a like a hidden thing. Have this out in the open. You know, if you wanted to simplify it and then have like another page that says like my full CV, that's fine. Uh, People want to see this, especially parents, especially, you know, if you're hiring someone, they want to see your full certifications. And Google, this is going to help you in terms of SEO because you're fully certified. The other thing, if it's possible, I know that a lot of schools and you know, different degrees allow for they allow for their past students to come back and like add a link to their profile. So if you can get a backlink from any of your previous schools, that's amazing. That would be really great to be able to just get that backlink, and that again makes you look professional. If you've got a profile on like Psychology Today is one website, maybe in Germany there's another website, but if you could, you know, link to that profile and link back to your website makes you look professional. So just like showing people I am legitimate, I am registered on these different schools, I'm registered on this official website. It's a little bit of local SEO for you. It makes you look professional. So those are my recommendations, my thoughts. Overall, I love it. Great work. Yeah, great stuff. Good job. All right, so I hope that all those website audits have been insightful, helpful, inspiring. Yeah, having a website is a whole deal, guys. You guys are doing great work, and it can feel overwhelming sometimes. It can feel like maybe you're not doing enough, but my recommendation with all of these notes and recommendations is to take it one step at a time. So what I like to do is just set a goal quarterly or monthly, and I just work on one thing at a time. And I have kind of an ongoing list that I'm working through. If you have a web developer, or if you want to hire a web developer at some point, just keeping that ongoing list is a great way, because at some point you can like hand that off to them, which is like helpful. But just having the mindset of this is kind of a living and breathing thing. We're always improving it and making it better. And yeah, we're doing everything we can to just make it the best experience it can be. And if you are looking for a little bit of extra insight, I still have some spots available open for my SEO audit. Technically, I had closed the doors last week, but I've decided to just, if anybody else, kind of like last call sort of thing, you can request that by going to digitalbloomiq.com/SEO audits. You can get all the information, and they are much more in depth than these kind of like mini website audits. I include technical information, keyword and content information. I also include competition information. And there's one more thing. Maybe that was it. Well, these website audits were mostly focused on UX and UI, which is fun, but not the only thing, right? So keywords and content are definitely important, as well as looking, oh, and backlinks. That's what I hadn't mentioned. Backlinks, technical errors, and also competition. So again, you can head on over to my website to apply, and I can let you know if you are, you know, if this is relevant to you. In general, I recommend the site be 3 years old at least. And if your site is younger and you're still wanting to get some guidance, reach out, because I can give you some other thoughts. So in some cases, I'll say to clients, hey, I recommend maybe instead of an SEO expert, you actually need a web developer, or maybe you're not ready for an SEO expert. And maybe you are, maybe you're ready for like a bigger project, or you want to do more hands-on work. So the audit is uh, I give you the results and then you action it. So maybe for some of you, you're like, I just need someone to do this for me. So if that's you, you reach out, because I can definitely help you make that decision and kind of navigate the waters. All right, my friends, this has been super, super fun. Stay tuned next week. I have another new podcast episode coming out, and have a great, great day. Talk soon. Bye.